Hey everybody, it's Shakira and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video on how to get your children to start meditating. I've tried to film this at least 6 times, like I am not playing, 6 times. So to the woman that requested this video on my Instagram page underneath my picture of my children meditating, I appreciate you so much and thank you for being patient with me. But I love this question because her exact question was, how do you get your children to start meditating? And that is an amazing question because in this day and age, I feel like it's so important to start raising mindful children. Children that are self-aware and that, don't get caught up in Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and whatever new things the younger generation has coming out because we need to be raising confident children. We need to raise children that are able to calm themselves down, to effectively use their energy, to effectively channel their anger into productive activities, right? And so this is an amazing question, and the way that I got my children to start meditating was really by them just watching me meditate and or knowing that I meditate, and I started to tell them, I've got to go meditate because I had a meditation room in my old house and it was just designated for just that. It was my own little sacred space. And so my youngest, he would come in there with me when he would hear the bowl, the meditation, the Tibetan bowl going, and he just started to get into it that way. So that adaptation was really organic. I never said, hey, Gabriel, come and meditate with me. However, my oldest, I did invite him, but I feel like he has just dropped in my meditation room as well. So it started by me just inviting them into my own practice and just allowing them to sit with me while I practice. And I also have introduced meditation to children at school when I substitute. And so that group of children really enjoyed it, and it was again just something natural that happened. They had like Pilates balls that they were calling yoga balls, and I was like, no, like they're sitting and bouncing as if it was their desk, as if it was their chair at their desk. And so I was like, you guys. Anyway, they wanted to try yoga and meditation when I told them that I'm a teacher, and they really loved it. And so the first tip that I have for you though, because I know that you want to raise mindful children, is to understand that you're not going to get them to sit down for 10, 20 minutes at this point in time, maybe not ever until they're adults, until they really understand and really enjoy the practice. And so that's one thing, again, I didn't even think about when I started meditating because they would just drop in as I was in my sacred space, and they naturally enjoyed it. And so, but now when I really ask them to sit down and meditate for a few minutes, it only lasts between 1 minute and 3 minutes. I'll be lucky if I get 5 minutes. And you will notice also that you may have one child that is more accepting than the other. For instance, my older child, it's kind of like pulling teeth when it comes to Brooklyn and trying to get him to meditate. And that's okay. But I do like to have him at least sit down for a minute and just hear the meditation bowl. And so just remember that is tip number 1. You need to start slow, maybe 30 seconds, maybe just a minute, maybe 3 minutes, and also depending on the child's needs. So I have a very hyper 6-year-old, and then I have a very mellow 10-year-old. The 10-year-old, not really into it. The 6-year-old is really into it. So I feel like that is just a natural way that our body tells us what we need, because Gabriel needs to kind of calm down. Your second tip is to introduce tools into the mix. So tools in terms of music, that's what I did when I was subbing and I had the kids meditating. And then also these Tibetan singing bowls, which are another form of music. Both of my boys like to experiment with these, and I encourage that because that way you can teach them, what these are and the science behind them. And so I teach them exactly how to hold the bowl and then, circle around lightly around the lip of the bowl, because once you get this and you allow them to start playing, they will just start dinging and donging and it will be very noisy. But again, I encourage that because you want to introduce them to this lifestyle of mindfulness. You can also use mala beads, and not your favorite pair if you are into mala beads. I'm not super duper into malas. but I'm trying to get into them. They're beautiful. But this is an old set of mala beads. And again, this is a teaching moment. Teach them about the mala beads. Teach them how the ancient sages would use this to focus on meditation, and maybe even get them a set. Teach them the significance of the 108 beads. So just invite them in on history and how good it'll make them feel to use the bowl. The next thing that you can do is allow them to lead the meditation and the prayer. I like to do this a lot with my boys so that they get comfortable speaking, and they get in front of people, and they get comfortable hearing their voice, and they get comfortable and confident within themselves. That way that is going to transfer into the real world, right? And so I allow them to lead the prayer sometimes, whenever they feel comfortable and want to do so. You can also allow them to set intentions for the week. So for example, my oldest son has a STAR test. Here in Texas, they have these STAR tests or whatever, and so he expressed to me the other day that he was a little nervous, in which he has no reason to be, because he's very, very intelligent. But you know how it is when you have to take a test. And so using the mala beads to lead the prayer or the meditation, that way it empowers him, and getting him to repeat affirmations like I am confident, like I'm able, I am intelligent. All of these things really help them become more confident and intelligent, because we are what we think we are what we say we are. So we'll get your children into repeating those affirmations during meditation as well. Last but not least, understanding that this is a journey. There's no destination here. Just like for adults, we have to really be kind to ourselves. So encourage them to be kind to themselves, even if they don't really get the meditation, they feel like they're not doing it right. There's no right and wrong to meditation. I feel like yoga and meditation, people are so intimidated by it because they feel like they're doing it wrong. When really, all you have to do is breathe. And so I remind my children, you don't have to do anything perfectly in meditation as long as you're breathing. Just teach them how to breathe and how to sit up tall to support their breath and to support their confidence. Then you are well on your way to raising phenomenal children that are self-aware, and that is the goal. Also realizing that one child may be into it more than the other. Like I said, my older son is really mellow and cool, while my youngest son is really hyper. So if you have a child that maybe has some diagnosis of such as ADD, ADHD, or any hyperactivity, I think that any child with any type of issue in terms of what they've been diagnosed with would benefit. Anybody would benefit from meditation, but especially our hyper children, especially if they've had behavioral issues and you're really trying to get that under control, start them on a meditation practice. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that I answered your question, and I hope that your children enjoy their new practice. And good for you, parents that are trying to get your children on a better path to, awareness and mindfulness. And I'm so proud of you. And I thank you so much for watching. And until the next time, I hope that you have a fabulous day. Bye.